Hey there you, how you doing? I am Kristi and welcome back to Trailer Trash or Treasure, a show where we take a look at movie trailers and maybe someday game trailers and TV trailers as communication and as art. Today we're going to be looking at A Fistful of Dollars, which is a viewer request, so thank you Matthew, longtime supporter and friend. I appreciate you making a recommendation. I've got other movie recommendations. I know there's a Godzilla request out there for the original Japanese trailer that people are very keen on, so you can look for that in the future. But today we're going to take a look at the 1964 spaghetti western directed by Sergio Leone, starring Clint Eastwood in his first leading role, apparently. And we're going to look back at the 1964 trailer. So let's go ahead and check that out. So before we start, it is worth saying that the point of this is to look at movie trailers to see how the trailer does at communicating what the movie might be about. It's not about how good the movie is or how bad the movie is. We're really looking at the trailer and does it do a good job of selling its product.
This short cigar belongs to the man with no name. This long gun belongs to the man with no name.
All right, so for commentary and fair use and all that other good stuff, I need to stop here. So for this one, I'm liking it so far. All right, we open up on one of the characters. There's a narration here, but it's not just, there's a poetry to it. We'll see if they do the rule of threes here and they say something else about a man with no name. But in terms of setting the mood, with the drums underneath, it's a very open musically. There's a lot of space here to work with. There's not a lot overwhelming us in terms of the music. So you're getting kind of a pulled back, bare bones audio with this voiceover and pretty simplistic images. I think to this point, it's quite effective as drawing me in as a viewer. All right, let's keep going.
This poncho belongs to the man with no name.
All right, so we got the cigarette, the gun, and the poncho. So we did the rule of threes, right? So what happens next? It's a good, like, the brain likes repetition. This is a very good tactic.
Rico! Heard you wanted to see me. What's wrong, Ramon? You losing your touch?
Now this is very interesting. All right, so they set it up with the audio voice or the voiceover narration, and then they switched over into basically a scene of the movie, right? And even though we don't know the characters, we don't know who any of these people are, presumably, like, the first time for Clint Eastwood, right? But it's drawing on a trope. It's drawing on the high noon showdown gunslinger, two men facing each other in a dirt street of a dusty old Western town. And immediately, without even having to know who the characters are, we have a very good sense, because of that trope, the drama, right? Watching someone get fired at and knocked down in a gun battle like this, very much in line with that existing cultural framework. So we don't need a lot of context to immediately be pulled into the drama of this moment. I think this is really effective use of the film material.
Shoot to kill, you better hit the heart. Aim for the heart or you'll never stop me.
Alright, so, okay. Alright, okay. Weird. I don't know if he's talking in this moment or if that's like a voiceover. So let's go back and watch this. I have to break it up, obviously, for the fair use part of it. So he gets knocked down and then he gets back up again. Alright. Look at something, and also, you really gotta hand it to the director here and the framing of this, also the cinematographer or director of photography, I guess, working here. There's a real balance to this. You know, Clint Eastwood's in the center where that like tall thing is. So even the way that there's very little foreground here, and he looks quite small, but he looks as like the most important thing in the scene, despite there being a lot of stuff behind him. He's framed really well by it. So yeah, it's an interesting angle. Okay, I got caught up in the visuals. Let's hit play and hear the trailer. So he shoots him once, shoots him and knocks him down. And they're like, oh, this is over, right?
You losing your touch? Shoot to kill, you better hit the heart. Aim for the heart or you'll never stop me.
Yeah, I don't think that audio is original.
The man with no name.
Okay, that was a kind of confusing, although I guess it's meant to be like a cliffhanger. Why is this guy able to withstand so many bullets, and does he die in this moment? I don't know if I'll wait for the rest of it, but see how they transition from, I mean, a big opening scene, right? Where do you go with that? You show a gun battle. Like, that's kind of the climax in some ways. So starting with that tension, you're immediately going to drop off into something else. So was that a good editing choice? I guess it depends on what you're going for, and we'll look as we continue with the rest of the trailer.
Danger fits him like a tight black glove. He is perhaps the most dangerous man who ever lived.
Extreme close-up of gunshots. All right, so then we get gratuitous violence. Our hero now is just off doing his thing. So I guess we're kind of building up this mythos of almost a superhero type of figure, or at least a supernatural one. He can take bullets. He can kill men with his gun. Who is this masked man? Well, the man with no name. Right. I have to say, I've not seen a Fistful of Dollars. So coming in here completely cold. Okay. Loved it. I love the cheesiness of that. Maybe that wasn't what they were going for. Maybe they're going for, sorry, I have to grab my thing to back up, might be easier. Going for a legitimate horror, but just in this day and age, I guess, with the professionalism of stunt crews and everything else. If you did this today, it would definitely be viewed as camp. So I'm not entirely sure if this movie treats it as camp too. Again, having not seen it, I've not gotten a big camp feel so far. It seemed to be played very, very straight for most of the trailer. And so this little break here where we get, I mean, this is a little bit over the top, but I wouldn't call it camp.
Perhaps the most dangerous man who ever lived.
Boom, 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 boom.
Get 3 coffins ready.
All right, I like that scene. All right, so I'm going to kind of summarize this at the end. I just have to say that in the middle of this trailer so far, I feel like the most exciting thing I've seen so far has been the gun battle. That opening sequence with the mysterious man and the gun battle, nothing has quite lived up to that in terms of tension building. Getting the impression that this main character is a badass. He's very tough. He's mysterious and taciturn. He, very commanding presence and all that. So obviously, he's meant to be the person that we identify with or see the movie through the eyes through. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not kind of getting that build up of tension. But again, I've got a very 21st century view of what trailers should do, so. Oh, we're used to this scene? I mean, it's a great scene.
Nice, you laughing. You see, my mule don't like people laughing. He gets the crazy idea you're laughing at him. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it. My mistake. 4 coffins.
This man with no name is played by Clint Eastwood.
Okay, so yes, in this last scene, we get another kind of high-stakes showdown, typical toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, hyper-masculinity going at it. I'm not going to lie, the scene, the composition of the objects in the frame in some of these scenes is just, yeah, they're basically their own postcards. I mean, this really could be a movie poster on its own, right? There's also a scene of tension, yes. like look at the composition here. Like this is beautiful. This is beautiful to look at. You've got the one, obviously the figure you're meant to be paying attention to, like my face, right up in front, right here. But it's so perfectly balanced by the other two people that are sat. It could have just been one person, but that would have looked a little bit empty. So by having two people there spaced where they are with a little bit of the white in the framing here, you get a really nice sort of balancing in the objects in the frame. And doing this sort of close-up, far-away thing, this is like just really nice to look at. Visually, it's very pleasing. We'll watch this bit again. And down they go.
My mistake. 4 coffins.
This
Yeah, that was a
man with no
punchline.
name is played by Clint Eastwood.
I love the
He's going to trigger a whole new
animated.
style and adventure. A Fistful of Dollars is the first motion picture of its kind. It won't be the last.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Generally, I'm really well dispositioned toward this trailer. I think that the visuals, one of the things that I haven't really mentioned too far, but obviously is something we should talk about when it comes to trailers, is a trailer can only work with the film footage that it has. If you've got a terrible film, you can maybe still make a great trailer out of it, but you're limited to what film footage there is available. Also, there's a modern trend now of using footage that doesn't end up in the movie to put in the trailer. Oftentimes it's stuff they put, like a lot of work into maybe, and it just ended up on the cutting room floor. That's a great way of giving people a sense of what the movie is like without actually giving away anything they're going to see once they pay to see the movie, which I think is a great use of that kind of footage. Here, though, I mean, this is visually stunning. What else can you say about it other than Sergio Leone knows what to do with a camera? Absolutely has a mastery of that kind of thing. All right, so let's do a focused analysis. Visuals are beautiful. So on the visual side of things, even though I'm going to have a complaint about the concept coherency at the end, the visuals I have to give a treasure to. Absolutely fantastic. Audio-wise, I think both the sound mixing, like the sound editing, sound engineering, as well as the musical score underneath, all go coherently with the vibe, and the narration is not done over sound effects, right? It's done over a very still image or a very quiet image, which makes it really effective. So audio-wise, also a treasure. On the concept, I'm going to be a little more, hold it to a slightly higher standard. I think that the aim here was to kind of highlight some of the more, not dramatic, what's the word I'm looking for? The more exciting scenes, the more action-based parts of the movie. And if that was its goal, it does that really well. However, in watching the trailer, yes, I see that from watching this movie, I could go and watch a Western where there's a lot of shooting and men scowling at each other and staring across distances with the hand near their gun. However, who is this unnamed man? What is his motivation? Why should I care about him? Why is he the hero? These aren't any questions I can answer just from looking at this trailer. And again, this is, maybe a time period difference, but I think it is worth noting the different effects that just showing me that this is going to be a violent movie or a potentially violent movie has in terms of me as an audience member, and using this time to build a slight connection with the main character. I mean, I'm getting the impression he's a badass, he can shoot guns, he's all kinds of masculine, he's dripping with testosterone. And if that's what your thing is, then this trailer is meant for you. If you want to know a bit more about why is he the way he is, what is his struggle, who are these men that he's facing, I don't know, there's just none of that here. So I'm going to give on the conceptual, coherence and I want to say it is coherent conceptually, But I just think in terms of really bringing it all together to draw people in, I'm going to give it a meh. So 2 treasures and meh actually means a treasure. So at the end of the day, Fistful of Dollars, I'm going to give this is treasure. Yay. Really, really good. I'm not perfect. So let's say 8 out of 10 or so on my scale, but certainly one of the more beautiful trailers that I've had to work with so far. Thank you so much, Matthew, for recommending it. If you would like me to review a trailer that you are interested in, go ahead and put your comments in the comment section below. If you disagree with my take, people are disagreeing. I've learned that immediately. So go ahead and put that in the comment section too. I might not get a chance to respond to everything, but I do have every intention of watching trailers that people request. So until next time, I've been Kristi. You are always awesome. So have yourself a good day till the next time we see each other. Bye.